Let's begin this evening with a news that has come in just half an hour ago. It is official that the government will be introducing the cryptocurrency and regulation bill in the winter session of the parliament. The government has said that it will be taking up as many as 26 bills for consideration and passage in the winter session of the parliament that will begin at the end of November. And it says that it is going to allow only certain cryptocurrencies to promote the underlying use of technology, bar all other private cryptocurrencies. Remember, this description that has been given this time around is pretty much the same that we saw the last time around as well. Even as the government says that it will provide and work and create on a facilitative framework for creation of official digital currency that will be issued by the Reserve Bank of India. The move, of course, also comes in at a time when the Prime Minister recently said that we should stop cryptos from getting into the wrong hands. It was also, remember, strongly felt very recently when the Prime Minister also said that attempts to mislead the youth through over-promising, non-transparent advertising for cryptocurrencies also needs to be stopped. So we will be talking about that and a lot more with our guests on ET Now. Joining us, of course, is our consulting editor at ET Now, Mythili Bhusnurmath, Sidharth Sogani, founder and CEO of CREBACO, and Nischal Shetty, the founder and CEO of WazirX as well. Appreciate you all taking your time out and speaking with us. This is Ruchi Bhatia. Nischal, let me first come to you. The description is pretty much the same that we saw the last time round, and I'm sure you would have had a deja vu moment as well. Having said that, you in your tweet a little earlier said that the good thing is that a lot of people in the government now finally understand how cryptocurrencies work. But does the description really come in as a bit of a shock to you at the moment? Even as we were hoping that there's going to be a middle path, but the description, at least if you go by the description alone, it doesn't look like a middle path. It looks like the government is just going to ban all private cryptocurrencies.
I think, the most important thing is that crypto as a topic is being discussed on a national level now. And you rightly said that there's a far greater understanding around this topic and subject throughout the country and within the lawmakers. Whether this is something to be alarmed or not, we'll only understand once we see the contents of the bill, which is not yet public. Even the definition of private cryptocurrency, for example, there's a lot of speculation around that. What exactly is a private cryptocurrency? It's hard to understand because if you think about Bitcoin or other crypto assets, they're on the public ledger, on a public blockchain, not owned by any particular company to make it a private crypto. Maybe we are thinking about this, looking at it maybe from a payments use case, which has been something of a contention point. So maybe crypto that is competing and trying to be a payment mechanism, maybe that's where the prohibition might be coming in, and that's a possibility. But again, till we do not understand what exactly is the definition of a private crypto and what that means, there's also the second part, which is there will be exceptions and there will be use cases around blockchains where crypto can be used. So we need to wait and watch how this evolves. But I think the good thing is we're still discussing regulations, and I think that's a positive move for the entire industry.
Right. Sidharth, if I can come to you, of course, the devil is going to be in the detail. We're yet to hear formally from the government on the contents of this proposed bill as well. But if you just go by the description that has been put out in the in the Lok Sabha website, it's absolutely the same that we saw the last time around as well. Does it evoke some kind of concerns from your end that perhaps the kind of messaging that the entire crypto industry wanted to go ahead with, that has not really percolated? Or are you going to go with what kind of statements that have come in from the government on some sort of a middle path being worked as far as cryptocurrencies are concerned?
Yes, see, the bill in the bulletin, it says that it is introduction, consideration, and passing. So we shouldn't assume anything yet, until and unless we see the contents of the bill. in the last few weeks, there has been a lot of meetings in the government. I think last Saturday, the Prime Minister also had a meeting. Then following that, on Monday, there was a meeting with the industry representatives. Even I was there, and I think it's nothing to panic, especially for the retail users. There should not be anything because the market is now a decently sized market, so there won't be an outright ban. I don't believe so. In my opinion, I don't see a outright ban coming. And yes, development, like if you want to build a smart contract, any developer wants to build a smart contract, he may need the crypto of that blockchain, right? So those kind of developments will definitely go ahead. And I think even for the exchanges, there will be strict rules, but I don't think so. If the market has grown so big, there won't be a ban kind of a situation. Now, looking forward to the bill. Let's see how it goes.
Let me take it across to Mythili as well. Hi, Mythili. Good evening. Your first thoughts on what the government has said up until now, and how would you read into the description that the government has put out? And as the as Sidharth and Nischal are pointing out, there is no need to worry. Perhaps we're looking at stricter regulations for exchanges, some kind of curbs in terms of use case. For payment mechanism, for use of crypto in terms of payment mechanisms as well. But do you think because the size of the market has become so big, perhaps the government may not just ban cryptocurrencies outrightly?
Well, if the bill is not substantially different from what we saw of the draft bill in 2019, because the GARG committee had submitted its report in February 2019, and the draft bill was prepared in 2019, and the bill itself is titled Banning of Cryptocurrency and Regulation of Official Digital Currency. And the bill as it stands today, the draft bill as it was meant in 2019, as framed in 2019, if it has not been substantially different, then I'm afraid it is curtains for all crypto holders as well as exchanges, because it very clearly says, it defines cryptocurrency very broadly to, and I'm quoting, to include information, code or token, which has a digital representation of value and is generated through cryptographic means or otherwise. So it is a very broad definition, it covers virtually every kind of private cryptocurrency, and it also comes on very heavily on all those who are holding, any mining, holding, selling, issuing, transferring, or use of cryptocurrency is punishable with a fine or imprisonment of up to 10 years or both. Not just that, any advertisement relating to cryptocurrency is also viewed very seriously, imprisonment of up to 7 years, along with a fine or both. So the draft bill of 2019 was pretty severe. The only clause, saving clause for those who are dealing in cryptocurrency is that it also provided for a transition period of 90 days from the commencement of the act, during which a person could dispose of whatever cryptocurrencies he was holding, but as per the rules notified by government. Now, given that the rules notified by government would be pretty stringent, I doubt if any holder would like to kind of go by those rules, because you'll immediately come under the tax net, under the ED net, etc., etc. So the draft bill was pretty wide-ranging in its coverage, and it did spell curtains. So for anybody dealing in crypto exchanges as well, one will have to see whether the bill that is now being presented in Parliament differs very substantially. But this is a bill that should have been passed earlier. In fact, we've already lost precious time. Many people have burnt their fingers already or are soon going to burn their fingers. So I do hope that the government is able to pass the bill, and we do not see proceedings in Parliament disrupted like we have seen in recent sessions of Parliament. In that case, this would be a case worth passing even an ordinance.
Oh, absolutely. Nischal, right. Nischal, if I can come to you, the passage that Mythili just read out from the 2019 bill was a very harsh one, was a very severe one for in terms of its implications on the cryptocurrency industry. I want to understand from you, what makes you so confident that perhaps the government has tried to understand in terms of messaging that was being conveyed by the crypto industry? Because if you just go by the Prime Minister's statements, he's really concerned over the usage of cryptocurrencies. He's concerned over the fact that it should not land in the wrong hands.
Yeah, see, I think the first most important thing is what happened towards the beginning of this year, where our finance minister said that India will take a calibrated approach towards regulating crypto, and that's a very important and significant statement. As far as our prime minister's statement is concerned, that again talks about ensuring that all of the malpractices or whatever wrong that can happen with a new technology, like the way it can happen with even internet, should be curbed. And I think as an industry we stand by that, and we are doing all of the right things, the right checks and balances in place to prevent that. The solution to that does not have to be a ban. The solution is proper regulation. You bring in KYCs, AML policies, you put in curbs and checks to make sure that the bad actors are not in the ecosystem. And at the same time, you can promote innovation in this sector. The other aspect is the meetings that have happened recently with the lawmakers, where they've they've heard presentations from different parties. They've asked questions, and there have been various other discussions at different levels, both public and private discussions. So I think all of these things point to an effort to understand this sector. There have also been, I think, a few months ago, we had also this change in the MCA where there have been crypto holdings have been asked for. This is all a data collection drive, and it is a very good way to understand the ecosystem. And now we have over 15-20 million people in India into crypto, and about $4 to $5 billion worth of crypto assets being held by them. So it's a significant market. Overall, it's a $3 trillion market globally, with large companies getting into it. Knowing what the ecosystem exists today, I think a proper regulation is going to be the natural path towards this. And I believe that's where we are headed as a nation. A bill can be, it should be brought in, and I think it'll be debated, and based on the industry participation, it can be tweaked, it can be changed, it can be altered. So all of these, I think what we should be excited about is at least we've begun the process. And I think that's what is the most important part right now for us.
Let me also, take that point across to Sidharth as well. Sidharth, you've said that you've been a part of several meetings that the government, has taken with the crypto industry. A lot of data has been collected as well. We now know how the industry functions, the larger use case of the blockchain technology as well. Having said that, in your conversation with the government, what are some of the walls, the firewalls that we will see perhaps coming in the new bill if it's not an outright ban? How will we ensure that we make sure that cryptocurrencies do not land in the wrong hands?
So in the meeting held last Monday, few of the concerns which the government, not only just India, but I think across the globe, the governments have a main concern of capital outflows. It's like if somebody is buying crypto in India and they are transferring it out to some international exchange or anything outside the country, which are not an Indian exchange, it's basically capital outflow. So a lot of those concerns are there, which the government does not know how to track, but there are solutions already which enables the tracking of these cryptos. It's not something which is untraceable. With the help of exchanges, and there are several global companies which provide solutions which provides crypto tracking. So it's not something, you see, anything which is digital has a digital footprint, right? So this is not something like cash where you just give cash and there is no trace of that transaction. That's one. And I with the interaction with a lot of MPs and other departments, they have now started to understand that this ecosystem is growing globally. I even mentioned at several places that exchanges like Coinbase, they've got $100 billion valuation. So this you cannot just ignore it. It's like an elephant sitting in the room, and you are thinking of banning it, right? So that's one thing. And since this thing is in the internet, right? So if you want to ban crypto, you have to ban the internet. Implementation challenges are there. Hence, I don't see a ban coming in, but a middle path, like said earlier by several people.
Okay. Okay, Sidharth, Nischal and Mythili, appreciate you all taking your time out and of course speaking with us this evening on the road ahead for cryptocurrencies in India, even as the government is looking at bringing out the crypto bill in the winter session of the parliament. What's quite interesting is the wording is almost the same in terms of description that the government has put out on the Lok Sabha website. It's the same as the listing that was made in February as well, but it will be pretty interesting to see if the bill in its nature, if at all, it has changed. The government so far has been saying that there will be some sort of a middle path. However, remember the Prime Minister has raised concerns, so we will be watching out for that space very closely.